Good afternoon, students. I welcome you all for the class. Today, we are going to discuss another topic in 8085 architecture, that is 8085 addressing modes. So, for each and every microprocessor, we need an addressing mode. So, in this today's class, we'll be going to discuss what is an addressing mode and how the addressing modes are specified and what are the different types of addressing modes we'll be going to see in this today's class. So, before going to this addressing modes, let me give you uh, a brief uh, introduction regarding this 8085 addressing modes. Fine. So as we have seen in the previous classes, we have studied regarding an instruction, right? This is an instruction. The instruction is divided into two parts. The first one is opcode and the second one is operand. Fine. So as I have said you before, this opcode is nothing but addition, subtraction, multiplication and division. Operand is nothing but data. Fine. So here, what is an addressing mode in the sense, like how the data is going to be organized, how the data is going to be specified, this data. So when we are going to talk regarding this addressing modes, so we are going to do operations on the operand, right? Suppose for example, add two numbers, in the sense like what we are going to do, we are going to add two numbers, that is which is stored in a variable and b variable, right? So this a and b are two variables. Like in this, between the two variables, we are going to perform the addition operation. So this is the when we are going to write a program. So when we are going to talk regarding this microprocessor programs, so here if you want to do any sort of thing in the sense, so that data is going to specified in this operand portion. So how the data is going to be specified will be this addressing mode is going to be telling. So how specified in the sense, what do you mean by specified? Whether the data, whatever the data we are talking about, that data is there in the register, or that data is in the memory, or the data is directly placed over here. So how the data is going to be specified, so we call it as an addressing mode. So that the addressing mode is going to tell about, fine, how the data is going to be specified, whether the data is placed in the register, whether the data is going to be placed in the memory, or whether the data has been specified directly over here. So how the data we are going to organize, how the data we are going to specify, that tells an addressing mode. So here, what is an addressing mode in the sense, here the way of specifying the data to be operated by an instruction is called an addressing mode. Specifying data to be operated, how we are going to operate the data specified in an operand field, that we call it as an addressing mode. So here there are different types of 5 different types of addressing modes in 8085 microprocessor. Fine. So we have seen what is the microprocessor and what is a microcontroller. So let me give you a brief things regarding the microprocessor. Microprocessor is nothing but which we are going to program, that we need a microprocessor. For example, suppose if you are going to take a light or a fan, we call that, can we need a microprocessor in order to operate a light and in operate a fan? No, that's why we don't call it as a microprocessor. But when we are going to take, for example, if you are going to take a remote control, if you are going to take a, AC remote, if you are going to take, for example, in normal life, like traffic lights. If you are going to take the traffic lights, a program is going to be installed. So whenever we are going to say it is a microprocessor, like it is working with the microprocessor, in the sense, if a program is installed, if a program, it is working on a program, then we call it as a microprocessor. So that is the simple way of identifying whether it is a microprocessor or not. So when we are going to see a tube light, the program is needed in order to on the tube light? No, just a switch is enough in order to on the tube light. A fan is operating by making use of a switch. We don't say that a microprocessor is installed in a tube light or in a fan. Why? Because they are not, it's not a program, it's a connectivity, it's a connectivity of Wi. So we don't call those as microprocessors. So when we are going to say it is a microprocessor, in the sense as some sort of program, when it is operated on some sort of program, we say that it is the microprocessor. So that is the differentiation. Daily we can see many of the things. Without the microprocessor, the world is nothing. Fine. So each and everything is now remotely operated with the help of this processors only. Fine. So that is the passing. So today in this class we are going to concentrate much on types of addressing modes. So as we are going to talk regarding the 8085 microprocessor, so in this 8085 microprocessor we are going to have 5 different types of addressing modes. But when we are going to talk regarding this uh, 8086 microprocessor, 8086 microprocessor, we are going to have 12 different types of addressing modes. So based on the microprocessor, the addressing modes and the instruction sets are going to be differentiated. So we can't make use of one instruction set to the another microprocessor. I mean, to what I mean to say is we can't make use of 8085 instruction set to 8086 microprocessor. You may get it out why we are still when we are going to, nowadays we are going to make use of Pentium 7 processors. Fine. Like still why we are going to learn this 8085 and 8086, the basic microprocessors. Why? Because this 8085 and 8086 are the basic microprocessors which have been successfully at that time. So before this 8085 microprocessor, we need to have a 8080 microprocessor. So some sort of problem is there with this 8080 microprocessor. So the successful microprocessor was 8085, which is done by the Intel. Fine. Later on, the advanced version of 8085 was 8086, which ruled the world in that days. So this is the that's the reason why we are going to learn 8085 and 8086 in nowadays, as we are in Pentium processors time. So as we have seen this 8085, 8086, 80386, 486, 586, and next Pentium processors came. So this is the hierarchy of the 8086 microprocessor or 8085 microprocessor. So based on that microprocessors, we are going to define the things, whether it is the 8085 microprocessor or 8086 microprocessor. So when we are going to talk regarding this types of addressing modes, like we are going to have 5 different types of addressing modes. So as I have displayed over here, these are the 5 different types of addressing modes. As I have said you before, like when it comes to the 8086 microprocessor, we are going to have nearly 12 addressing modes. Like that, when we are going to take 8089 microprocessor, we are going to have 9 addressing modes. So it doesn't mean that like we need to have a same number of addressing modes for each and every microprocessor. So depending on the microprocessor what we are using, so the addressing modes are going to be differ from one microprocessor to another microprocessor. So that is the basic introduction of 8085 addressing modes. Now let us step into the types of addressing modes that what we are going to use in 8085 microprocessor. So here, as I have said you, there are 5 different types of addressing modes which I have listed over here. The first one is immediate addressing mode. Second one is register addressing mode. Third is direct addressing mode. Fourth is register indirect addressing mode. And the last one is implied or implicit addressing modes. So these are the 5 different types of addressing mode. So as I have given the intro of what is an addressing mode, So the immediate addressing mode and register addressing mode, direct addressing mode, are all the different types of addressing modes. Fine. So here, what the addressing mode is going to specify here, the way of specifying the data to be operated by an instruction. So that we call it as an addressing mode, right? So here, let us start the types of addressing modes. Here, the first and the foremost addressing mode is immediate addressing mode. So what do you mean by an immediate addressing mode? So as we have seen, the instruction format, so everything is based on this instruction format only. So here the opcode will be there, that means the operation to be specified. Here the operand will be there. This operation has to be done on this operands. Like here the some addition, in the sense the addition has to be specified on this operand. So when we are going to talk regarding this immediate addressing mode, as the name itself specifies that it is an immediate operation. Immediate in the sense, like here we are going to have a instruction set. In that instruction set, we are going to have a command like mvi. Mvi in the sense move immediate. MVI in the sense move immediate. So when we are going to use this MVI instruction, so move immediate B45. So here, what we are going to do here is, here what here, first see this example. See the example over here. MVI B45. MVI in the sense it is an instruction move immediate. So what immediately we have to move? We have to move the 45H into the B register. That means immediately we are specifying the data over here. It is not a register, it is not a memory location. Here we are specifying the data. So immediately load this 45 into the B register. So this is the immediate addressing mode. See here, immediate addressing mode, the source operand is always data. So here I have specified that the source operand is always data. Here this 45 acts as a source and this B acts as a destination. Fine. So what I am telling is, immediately move this 45 data into the B register. So that is the immediate addressing mode. So in 8085, this MVI instruction, immediate addressing mode, is very, very powerful. We are going to make use of this immediate addressing modes in 8085 microprocessor. Fine. So here, if the data is 8-bit, then the instruction will be of 2 bytes. And if the data is of 16-bit, then the instruction will be of 3 bytes. Why 2 bytes and why 3 bytes? If it is an 8-bit, so here, if it is an 8-bit, we need 2 bytes of instruction, opcode and an operand. So if it is a 3-bit, like we have seen the 3-byte addressing, like opcode, higher order and lower order. Fine. Higher order and lower order. So lower order 8 bits will be stayed over here, higher order 8 bits will stay over here if it is a 16-bit data. If it is a 8-bit data, here 8 bits are going to be stayed and this is the opcode we are going to perform. So this is the immediate addressing mode. As the name itself suggests that immediately move the data into the specified register what I am specifying. So here in this example, MVI B45 in the sense move this 45 data into the B register immediately. Another example here is load LXI in the sense load immediately H3050. So it is a 16-bit data, HL pair. H indicates HL pair. So what are the pairs we are having? BC, DE and HL pairs. So these are the pairs we are going to talk about, or else 1 2 3 4 5 6 and A register is the 7 registers we are having individually. So if you want to specify 8-bit data, so this individual registers B, C, D, E, H, L, A acts as independently, individually. If you want to specify a 16-bit data, it will be going to make a pair of BC, DE, and HL. These pairs are fixed. We can't change the pairs, like we can't make as a, BL, like a DC. We can't make like that. Only BC, DE, HL are the pairs which are going to be fixed when we are going to talk regarding the 16-bit of data. And next one is, see the next example here, LHI H3050. So here, what this 3050 is the memory location. This 3050 is the memory location. So here, some 305, this is the memory location. So the address is somewhere over here is 3050. In this 3050, 20 data is there. So here, what what it is going, suppose 2061 is there. So what here we are specifying is, like whatever the data we are specifying in this address 3050, move that data into the HL pair immediately. So that is the indication. Why? Because H specifies HL pair. So D in the sense, if it is a 16-bit, D in the sense DE pair. If it is a 16-bit, B in the sense BC pair. Like that we have to think. So load the HL pair with the operand 3050 immediately. Operand is nothing but data. So whatever the data that is specified in 3050, immediately load that data into the HL pair. So this is the another example of immediate addressing mode. Next is jump address. Suppose if I have specified jump 3059. 3059. So whenever we are specifying this jump instruction, so jump to the operand address immediately. So here now, the cursor is executing 3050 normally. Now here, whenever it has encountered jump 3059, so instead of executing all these instructions, it will be going to shift to 3059 address directly immediately. So it will skip all the instructions in between. So this is the immediate addressing mode. As the name itself suggests, that immediately do the task first. So what the task in the sense, immediately load, we can give the operand directly over here, that means data, that means 20 data directly over here, or we can specify 2060, that memory location over here, or we can specify some address over here, normal address over here. Like this we are going to have the immediate addressing mode. And next addressing mode is register addressing mode. Register addressing, immediate addressing mode in the sense, directly we are specifying the data or address or a registers over here. Register addressing your mode in the sense, we are going to specify only registers. So in the register addressing mode, the data to be operated is available inside the register, but not in the memory location. We are not going to specify it directly, but only we are going to specify the data in the register only. Register only we are going to specify. We are not going to specify directly, and we are not going to specify in the memory location. We are going to specify only in the register. So that is the register addressing mode. Therefore the operation is performed within various registers in the microprocessor. So see here, the first example is move a comma b. Move a comma b in the sense, a is one register, b is another register. What we are going to do, we are going to move the data of b into the a register. Suppose here, this is the a register and this is the b register. So in a b register we are having 60, in accumulator we are having 25. So what it will happen is, you move a comma b in the sense, here the right side one, so that is 60 is going to be moved on to the accumulator register. A is nothing but the accumulator register. So here the 25 is overcome by 60. Now the accumulator contains 60 data. Next, add b. Add B in the sense, now suppose for example B is going to have 60 and accumulator is also going to have 60. Add B in the sense, this B resistor is going to be added with the A resistor. Why we are going to take only A? We are going to have D, C, H, L, all the resistors we are having. But why we are going to take only A resistor in the sense, A is the special resistor which is used for saving the result as well as the values. So implicitly we are going to talk with the A resistor only. So A is nothing but the accumulator resistor. So whatever the things we are going to do, we are going to specify with the accumulator only. Suppose here if we say that sub C. C in the sense, C is one resistor. This C is going to be subtracted with what? Automatically accumulator. It is an implied one. We need not specify subtract C from B. If we are really want to subtract any resistor from any resistor, we can. Or else automatically or normally it is going to take the accumulator resistor. Next one is INR A. INR in the sense increment. Increment the resistor A. A is the accumulator resistor which is going to be incremented by 1. Here 60 is there. Now increment in the sense 61 will be like that. So this is how resistor addressing mode. So what I mean to say is resistor addressing mode in the sense here the data is available only in the resistors, not in the memory location. We can't specify it on the directly in the operand field. Fine. Only in the resistors the data is going to be available. Next one is direct addressing mode. So direct addressing mode, as the name itself specifies that directly we are giving the address of where the data is available. So that is the direct addressing mode. So here in direct addressing mode, the data to be operated on which the data we want to make operations is available inside a memory location. Resistor addressing mode in the sense the data is available in the resistor. When it comes to direct addressing mode, the data is available in the memory location and that memory location is directly specified as an operand. So here as we have seen the opcode field and the operand field, so here the memory location some 2060 some 2050, that memory location is directly specified over here. We are not specifying the resistors and we are not giving the data directly. We are giving the address of that particular memory location. So here this is the memory location. So here this is the 2050 and this is 2060. So here 9 data is there. So here 23 data is there. So if we want to operate with this 9, we are going to give the address 2060 address over here. We are not going to specify directly this data 9. If we want to do with this 23, we are going to give the address of this 23, that is 2050 over here in the operand field, but not directly the data. So that is the direct addressing mode. Directly we are specifying the address of that particular memory location where the data has been stored. So here the examples, if you are going to see the examples over here, this is the first example, LDA2050. LD in the sense load, A in the sense accumulator, with the data 2050. Here suppose this is the accumulator resistor, this is the accumulator resistor, some 26 data was there previously. Now when I have specified load accumulator 2050 in the sense, what is the data available in 2050? The data available in 2050 is 23. Now the accumulator is loaded with 23. This is overwritten with 23. So that is the load accumulator directly. Directly we are specifying the address where the data is present. Here LHLD address. Load the contents of 16-bit location into HL register pair. So here what whatever the address we are specifying, so that data is going to be loaded into the HL pair. Load the contents of 16-bit, HL in the sense 16-bit memory pair. So we are giving, suppose LHLD, I have given 2060 in the sense 2060 we are going to have 9. So it will be treated as 09 and it will be going to have 0 and it will be going to have 9. So here like this we are going to specify directly the address, and here IN35. So IN35 in the sense, so here read the data from the port whose address is 35. So this is the port address. So we have to read the data in this port, which is 35th port. So directly we are going to give the address over here. So that is the direct addressing mode. And next one is the register indirect addressing mode. Previously we have seen register direct. Register direct in the sense we are directly going to give the registers over there. Here in this addressing mode, the data is operated is available inside a memory location, and that memory location is indirectly specified by a register pair. So here, uh, suppose uh, here I'll be going to show you. Uh, so here, this is an opcode. This is an operand. So previously register addressing mode in the sense here we have specified that A register, B register, something like that. Register indirect in the sense this here we are not going to specify the registers. So here we are going to take the memory location. Fine. So here the data is the data to be operated is available inside a memory location. Here 9 is there. This address is 2060, so for suppose, and that memory location is indirectly specified by a register. This memory location is indirectly specified by a register. So now see the example. Move A comma M. M is the memory location. Fine. Pointed by the HL pair to the accumulator. So this memory location means HL pair data is going to be moved to the accumulator. So that is the register indirect. So here we are going to give the memory location address, and that memory location is specified by the HL pair or DE pair or BC pair. So that data, whatever the data specified in that HL pair is moved to the accumulator. Here see load accumulator XB. Here, here the contents of BC register is moved to the accumulator. Fine. So BC register is the 16-bit. So here AX is the 16-bit register. So this BC register contents are going to be moved directly to the accumulator. And next one is LHI H9570. Here what we are going to tell is load immediate the HL pair with the address of the location 9570. So this is how we are going to move the register indirect addressing mode. So directly we are not specifying, indirectly we are specifying a particular register. So that is the register indirect addressing mode. And next one is implied or implicit addressing mode. Whenever we are talking regarding the implied or implicit addressing mode, we have to remember the accumulator. So so previously we have said that add C in the sense the contents of C are going to be added with the contents of the accumulator, and again the result will be stored in the accumulator. So did we specified add C to the accumulator? No, we have specified only add C. Then what it is taken implicitly, it is going to take the accumulator as the destination, and it is going to add the contents of C with this accumulator, and the result is going to be stored in the accumulator. So that is implicit. Implicitly we need not specify the accumulator. If you are going to give any operation, that implicitly it will be going to do with the accumulator. So in implied or implicit addressing mode, the operand is hidden and the data to be operated is available in the instruction itself. So here, see here, CMA in the sense complement accumulator. So we are not specifying any of the thing. So whatever the contents of accumulator, if the accumulator is 01, then it will be 10, complement the accumulator. RRC, RRC in the sense rotate accumulator right by 1 bit, by 1 bit. So RLC in the sense rotate accumulator left by 1 bit. Here are we saying to rotate accumulator? No, RRC in the sense if you are not specifying anything, implicitly or implied, it is going to take that operation with the accumulator only. RLC in the sense rotate accumulator left. RRC in the sense rotate accumulator right. Here what I mean to say is, here we are not specifying anything. We rotate accumulator or complement accumulator, we are not saying anything, we are just telling complement. CMA in the sense complement accumulator. RRC in the sense rotate accumulator right by 1, we are not specifying, but implicitly it is going to work on the accumulator. So these are the 5 different addressing modes that are going to be available in the 8085 microprocessor. Fine. So this is the video regarding the addressing modes. In the next class, we will be going to see how we need to write a program by making use of instruction set. A small program, addition of 2 numbers by making use of instruction set. And that's all for today's class, students. Thank you, students. Have a great day.